that we work on, one of the other tools, is creating hit lists. And that's how James ended up getting his job, is because one of the things we make you do in Flash Forward is create a hit list. And that's not the people on your map. Those people you already know, at whatever degree you know them. Maybe you just met them at a women in film breakfast, maybe you met them at some other event, but you know them. The hit list is about the people that you don't know. I really, really, really want to work with that company as an editor. Those post houses, there's 5 post houses. I don't know anybody there at those particular 5 post houses. So you know what? It's time that I created relationships. Time that I met. And who would that be? Like, what would be the person's title that you would need to meet at that post house?
I don't know.
Don't know? Okay.
I don't know, yeah.
All right, okay. So maybe it's the vice president of production, let's say. I don't know, but let's say that's what it is. When you do your research, in that first week and you find out who those people are, then that would be, maybe it's those 5 names that would go on your hit list. And then 5 production companies as well. So maybe of those 10 companies, there's 5 production companies and 5 post houses, and here's the people that I need to meet. And then you'd have their phone numbers and so on. And it makes it real. I remember one time on my, I remember saying to Heidi, I put myself in the A-team. We have this advanced course that's open to like 10 people or whatever. It's like a 3-month course, and Heidi was leading it. So I was wondering why my projects weren't getting off the ground. I had about 15 projects that I developed with Kate, and nothing was happening. So I said, I'm going to put myself in the A-team. So I put myself in the A-team, which was a 3-month thing where everybody finishes their goal, because Heidi was like ruthless, just ruthless with people. And I remember one time I was kind of like saying, oh yeah, and I'd like to, I think it was Dean Kane, I wanted to have in a film or whatever it was at the time, and I'd really like to have this or that. And she said, oh, you would you? And I said, yeah, I really would, and it would be so great. She said, what's his agent's name? Well, I don't know. What's her phone number? I don't know. What's his manager's name? I don't know. What's his manager's phone number? I don't. Does he have an entertainer? Does he have a PR? Like, she was like drilling it, except she was screaming at the time. I don't want to do cases other, security around out here. And but like that's how she was like drilling me, like, how dare you talk like this, like, you're going to have this guy in your film and it's all like airy-fairy out there in the universe, and hopefully it'll make it. And she was like drilling me, no, you should, who's that manager? Who is that? Like screaming, and it was good, and I'm somebody who's pretty active, but it was great. It kind of like woke me up, my God, you're right, I should know who his agent is, for God's sakes. Where is he represented? Who's his manager? What are their phone numbers? I should know this stuff. And I did. I mean, Jesus, as soon as I left the meeting, I'm home and called. And by the way, he is the lead in the children's movie that we did. I was so scared. I had no choice but to put him in the movie after that. I was scared to go to the next meeting.
Too nervous.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's one of that's one of the things that Jim did when we said he was going to create his relationship meetings, is he went to look to see who were those showrunners in the sci-fi world. He loved sci-fi. He wanted to work in that world, and he made a list of who were those execs and co-execs at the different shows like Highlander and all those kinds of shows that he loved and wanted to work with. And then he, started to create those calls. And some people hung up on him, and some people, said, no, you're not going to make it in. But of those people, he ended up getting in, and setting up about 10 meetings. So that's your hit list. Okay, that was a question. Anybody have any questions about that? Who would, write down right now, who would be one of those? No, let's do 3. Write down 3 names that would be on your hit list. What would be 3 names that would be on your hit list?